Just after dusk on New Year's Eve, I found myself driving down Highway 13, a desolate stretch of road snaking through the heart of the Pennsylvania wilderness. I was returning home from a friend's party, a little tipsy and bubbling over with excitement for the new year. The lavish fireworks and laughter of the night were fading into the rearview mirror, replaced by an oppressive stillness. The highway was notorious for its eerie reputation, but I shrugged off any unease. It was just a highway after all. I had been on it many times before. The miles stretched on, flanked by towering pines that seemed to loom closer with every passing minute. I glanced at the clock on my dashboard. It was nearly midnight. Suddenly, the headlights caught something in the road ahead, flashing off a pair of eyes reflecting like two glowing orbs. Startled, I slowed down, my heart thumping louder than the music still echoing in my mind. There it was, a stray dog, thin and ragged, panting heavily in the chill air. Feeling a rush of empathy, I pulled over and quickly hopped out. "Hey boy, come here," I called softly, trying to coax him closer. The dog yelped and backed away, its floppy ear twitching. As I approached, I noticed it was filthy, matted fur clinging to its ribs. Hesitating, I extended my hand, but just as the pup began to inch forward, a loud crack of thunder echoed through the night sky. A storm rolling in out of nowhere. The dog yelped again and dashed into the shadows, disappearing into the tree line. Shaking off the chill creeping up my spine, I got back in the car. I wasn't too worried about the storm. My only thought was getting home before midnight. I resumed my drive, but as I passed the spot where I'd seen the dog, a strange thought struck me. Had I really heard thunder? The sky above was clear, a million stars shining down, the full moon illuminating the silvery road ahead. Minutes later, the clock hit midnight. I barely noticed, lost in thought, when a loud thump on the roof jolted me back to reality. Fear punched through me as I swerved, almost losing control. I slammed the brakes and curved to the side of the road. My heart raced as I sat there, staring at the dark expanse around me, my breath fogging the windshield. "Hello?" I called out, my voice quivering. The only response was the soft rustle of the wind through the trees. I must have imagined it, I thought, trying to calm myself. I waited a moment, took a deep breath, and drove off again, reminding myself that it was just the lingering effects of the party. But the hour was late. The highway felt alive with an unsettling energy. Soon I reached a stretch known as the Hollow Cut, a narrow part of the road flanked by sheer rock faces on one side and an abyss on the other. As I navigated the tight curves, my headlights caught something glimmering at the edge of the road. It was a partial reflection. Curiosity piqued, I slowed down. There in the ditch lay something glimmering in the moonlight. Metal. As I got closer, the full horror of it hit me. A mangled bicycle, twisted and abandoned, half submerged in a shallow pool of mud. A chill seized me. I stepped out cautiously, scanning the area for any signs of life. The air felt electric, as if nature itself had paused to witness what I'd uncovered. What happened here, I thought, dread welling in my gut. My mind drifted back to the stray dog and a gnawing sense of foreboding settled in. Just then, I heard it, soft whimpering from the dark woods bordering the highway. "Hello?" I called again, but my voice cracked. I stepped away from the bicycle, and that's when I saw it. Emerging from the trees, a figure, pale and lanky, its limbs twisted unnaturally. It moved like a marionette, jerking towards the road, eyes hollow and sunken. Panic gripped me, and I bolted back to my car, fumbling with the keys as I stared in horror. The figure stopped, tilting its head in a curious manner, mouth stretching into an unnatural grin that revealed jagged teeth, stained with something dark. Was it blood? The dog's howl cut through the silence, sharp and agonizing, echoing through the trees. I was frozen, the engine still off, the air charged with something dark and sinister. I managed to shove the key into the ignition, my hands trembling violently. The engine roared to life, cutting the tension like a knife. I tore down the highway, shoving the pedal to the floor, but I could still feel its gaze on me, like ice burning holes into my back. The road blurred past in a streak of moonlight and shadow, but that feeling, that whisper of dread, never left. As the shadows of the trees swelled around me, I eventually reached a small gas station. It felt like a sanctuary. I raced inside, panting, my eyes wide, desperate for someone to tell me I wasn't losing my mind. The old man behind the counter noticed my panic. "Something wrong, miss?" he asked, eyebrows raised. Did you see anything out there? A dog? A figure?" I stammered, my voice shaky. He gave a long, drawn-out sigh, gazing out the window into the dark expanse. "You're lucky to be here, girl. Highway 13's got a reputation. You see something tonight, you best not stick around. Folks say the restless spirits of the lost wander these woods on New Year's Eve, looking for something they'll never find." Spirits? The word whirred through my mind like a spinning top, and I shook my head, trying to dismiss it. After a while, I gathered myself and decided to call for a ride. As I waited, the wind picked up again, howling through the crevices of the gas station. The old man had resumed his quiet watch at the counter, but I caught a glint in his eye that suggested he had seen too much. Just then, my phone buzzed with a text. "Happy New Year! Can't believe you actually left. Don't miss the fireworks show." A wave of relief washed over me. Somehow I was connected again, an escape from the terror that lurked outside. When my ride finally showed, I didn't waste any time. I climbed into the back seat and didn't look back at the old station, the figure, or the shadows of Highway 13. In a way, I seemed to have beaten whatever had lingered there. I made it home, bursting into the comforting warmth of my house, grateful to be safe. But now, as I sit here writing this, a nagging thought haunts me, that I can hear echoes of howling in the distance, whispers of people I can't see, and that as the clock strikes midnight again, perhaps I haven't fully escaped the horror of that night on the highway. Like I said, stay clear of Highway 13 on New Year's Eve. You never know what or who is waiting for you in the shadows.